ABIA and all the other markets within the town will be restored to their glory days in a matter of time. I must begin by expressing my deepest satisfaction and fulfillment at the quality of sharing and learning that have taken place in this hall over the last 48 hours. Let me especially appreciate my dear wife for accompanying me and for her very active participation throughout the day. I'm also deeply grateful to all our resource persons for being so generous with their knowledge and time, and most importantly, for their interest in the success of our government, even when some of them are not from this state. My brother and former governor, Raji Fashola, SAN, showed himself a true friend of ABIA yesterday through his detailed presentation and reports of the many projects that were executed by the federal government in the state under his watch, as well as those that are ongoing. It gladdens my heart to know that he had an emotional connection to this great city called Aba and its most popular market, the ABIA International Market. With the structures we are putting in place and our ongoing discussions with the federal government with respect to some major roads linking Aba and neighboring cities, ABIA and all the other markets within the town will be restored to their glory days in a matter of time, and our beloved Enipa city will once again become a favorite destination for shoppers, businessmen, and women from all across Nigeria and West Africa. Before I go on, I must also underscore the appointment of my relation. I'm sure some of you will know, maybe some will not know that Governor Mahi, Senator Mahi, is actually my blood relation. His father, late father, was the elder brother of my grandmother, his parents. So I've just received his invitation to attend his swearing, and I will detail the Honorable Commissioner, because I had also indicated that he's going to be my escort here, and he has approved that I be represented. So the Honorable Commissioner for Finance, who will be going for FAC, would still have some time to represent me at that event. But the most important point I wanted to make is that he is the Minister for Work Designate. So it makes our job a lot easier. At least we can engage with him. As I said in my address yesterday, we are not just here to repair roofs and pay salaries and then pat ourselves on the back for a job well done. Our vision is more grand. We are focused on the holistic transformation of the state to make it the #1 destination for family life, investments, and enterprise, leisure, and several other interests. I hope that when next former Governor Fashola visits ABIA, we will be seeing clear evidence that we are here for good. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for being very practical in your presentation. I must specifically thank the Secretary to the Anambra State Government, Professor Solo Chukwudobelo. His name is Solo, not Solo. I think some people made mistakes in spelling his name. For spending very quality time with us on Friday, and for his exhaustive discussions on governance processes and expectations. We shall be leaving here much more knowledgeable on a lot of issues simply because he came. and then taught us like a dedicated teacher he is. Prof, thank you very much. To Dr. Chibueze Okeibu, thank you for always being of service to the state whenever we call upon you. We appreciate you for further enlightening us and teaching us the nature of relationships in the civil and public service ranks. Today, we have heard from Pastor Ben Agabueze and my dear sister Arumote on finance, public sector revenue, and how to drive critical economic indices in the direction we desire. Thank you for your very valuable insights, which I'm sure everyone seated here appreciates greatly. Most importantly, thank you for sacrificing your very precious time to make this retreat worthwhile. To my brother and friend, Victor Nyempa, who has been with us since Thursday, actively participating and providing valuable guidance on the most appropriate governance mechanisms that will yield the most superior outcome for ABIA. Thank you for your interest in the development of your home state, ABIA, and very importantly, for believing that we are the team to do it. You are already a leading member of the team, and I'm optimistic that together, ABIA will see that indeed our dream of a society that works for all of us is captured in our new dream, a new mantra, new ABIA is not utopia. I want to especially appreciate Mr. Chijioke Webute and his team from the PwC for facilitating this retreat. Their dedication and professionalism have been really impressive. And I thank you for offering your best service since we began the preparation for this, and most especially for your support to my team since the very beginning. I also want to appreciate the head of service, members of the State Executive Council, senior appointees of the government, and all other participants for taking this retreat very seriously. I'm impressed by your interest and active participation over the course of the exercise. Thank you for cooperating with the organizers and for making it an engaging outing. I'm glad that everyone will go home better informed and equipped to deliver on the mandates of their ministries and agencies and to generally support the actualization of the vision that brought us to this place. This retreat was organized to equip us with the know-how to operate in the public sector, since so many of us are coming from the private sector background. And from my observation, I can say that the aim has been achieved largely. I believe the exposure you have had in the last 2 days will provide you the leverage you need to return to work on Monday, a better leader than you were just last week. So what do we expect from you going forward? Simple: to demonstrate superior understanding of governance processes and mechanisms as they apply to this present administration in all your undertakings. We want to see a more robust evidence of teamwork, smart execution of our policies and programs, and a general understanding that we are here to serve the people through the vehicle of effective governance. I mentioned yesterday that we have since moved from the drawing board to the field of play. This retreat could be likened to the regular water break you see at intervals during serious games, when coaches talk quickly to their teams before they return to the pitch. I can say with great confidence that you have listened to very quality coaches in the last 2 days, and I expect that you should return to your desk on Monday, ready to start implementing all that you have been taught as they apply to your respective offices. This whole exercise would have been a sheer waste of time and public resources if we cannot see measurable improvements in your output. You can no longer claim not to know that you would achieve better by working as a team, united in a single goal of delivering on the promises that got us elected in the first place. You must always bear in mind that we were elected because the people believe that our programs and governance objectives were far superior to what our rivals offered. As you go back to your offices, you must begin to put in measures that will guarantee superior outcomes in the medium to long term. Remember, the difference is in execution. We must begin to see the interconnectedness between the works of the ministries and agencies. We want to improve the health of the general population, but that may not happen unless we increase access to quality information. How can we attract investors if we don't improve security and urban infrastructure? Can we really tackle unemployment if our youths are not equipped with the right skills that the modern work environment demands? Yesterday I said that we must be government that asks questions. So you must spend your work waking hours asking, what difference am I going to make today? Do not make the mistake of thinking that everything must be about you all the time. Research and share ideas with your colleagues. Tell us what you think we can do to make things better for the average person. For the average person here, based on what you discovered in your formal and informal studies. Respectfully engage with each other as often as possible and share ideas. Debate your ideas in informal meetings and get others involved. I've not called you to be rivals, but to complement and support each other without being intrusive. My message, therefore, is very simple. I want results. We already have very wonderful ideas you can run with. While you are looking for something better, let us start with what we already have. You have the manifesto that won us the votes of the ABIA electorate, and then report of the Transition Council, put together by some of the most accomplished individuals in the country. Analyze them and run with them. We shall no longer tolerate any form of excuses or time wasting. Abians are in a hurry to start seeing real improvements in every sector, and we cannot afford to keep them waiting. Do not be the weak link in what is known to be a very strong chain. Feel free to ask questions, and as you know, my office is constantly open. In fact, 24 hours open if and when you need assistance. Although resources are quite thin and demands are stretched, we must learn valuable lessons from the parable of the talents in the Bible and begin to make the most of what has been given to us before it is taken away and given to others who know how to better use of what has been available. Before I end this speech, I must also speak to us about the palliative from the federal government. A few days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, on Thursday, we received the sum of 2 billion naira from the central bank, and that is part payment of the 5 billion naira that has just been approved for the palliative. We also have received some 3,000 bags of rice, I believe. Okay, so but I believe it was 3,000 bags of 3,000 bags of rice, which we are storing in a warehouse. By Monday, we will sit down to discuss how it will get to the people who need it most. It was supposed to be a whole lot more bags, but we felt that maybe it's not rice that everybody needs. Like me, I do not eat rice, so if you give me rice, it's not a gift I will appreciate. So we felt if we had money, even if we wanted to buy rice, if we have rice farmers in Adi, or the audio rice that the previous administration launched, if it becomes a reality, then we can better buy from rice millers in Adi. So ESCO will discuss, and then we will now come to some agreement which will be communicated to everyone on how best for a state of over 5 million people, forget about the 4 million that you pick in some media space. When you share 5 billion naira, those who understand mathematics will know that it's not going to go far. So how do we deploy this? What is the best way to do that? And if you ask me, there are the poorest of the poor who need it more. So my attitude will be to ensure that it gets to them. But then we will sit down as a body and agree. This is just to give you information because I'm sure you may have read in the papers that 5 billion naira was shared. Yes, 2 billion has come. We are still expecting 3 billion. Even though the 3 billion part of it, the entire 5 billion part of it, I think 48% is taken off by the federal government, and the balance we will repay back as loan at 0% interest. Kingsley, right?
All right.
Yes. So, so you can see that it's not all free, but because it's 0% interest, I think it's still good enough. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you most sincerely for being part of this first set. And when I say first set, I mean first set because from time to time we will still be holding retreats like this. And in due course, when the House of Assembly resumes from their recess, we will also organize a retreat involving them all subscribing in judiciary, so that because they are all part of it. So while I thank you for staying until the end of this retreat, I wish you a pleasant weekend. And for those who want to leave, have a safe trip back to your destinations. If you don't think it's safe to leave this evening, your room has been paid for up to tomorrow morning. So again, thank you very much. God bless you.
And I want to people have been trouble at any crazy. There's a many crazy. Who went up because you don't get them. I put you like about who crazy. I can't be a moon attack. I'm a property on a bull. They were.